My fellow Ugandans, I'm here today to tell a different story about the Ugandan diaspora. It's a story about changing what we have done in the past towards a different approach, a bold new approach, an approach rooted in maximizing the economic opportunities in the diaspora, an economic revolution for our community. My name is Kawuma, a son of Gomba, raised in Mutundwe, and I ask you to believe in our vision of the new Ugandan diaspora. It's a vision rooted in the power of the economy. It's in fact a vision bigger than one association, or even a diaspora on one continent. It's a vision to reclaim our autonomy as Ugandans. It's a vision to seek economic liberation, to free ourselves from economic dependence, a vision to get the best deal for our community. Now more than ever, this is our time to make the most of the opportunities in the diaspora economy. There are 4 questions that I want us to take a moment and seriously think about today. The first question: why is the Ugandan diaspora community growing? In other words, why is there a growing desire for people to leave our country, Uganda? The second question to ponder about today: among the most successful communities of immigrants in the diaspora, where does the Ugandan community rank? And the third question: what structures have we put in place as a community to facilitate the success of Ugandan immigrants? And fourth, what role can the Ugandan diaspora play towards improving the conditions we left back in Uganda? And one last question: how does our investment-focused approach towards community associations improve the well-being of our community members? Now, looking at the first question, we have over 2 million Ugandans living in the diaspora today. 60,000 of these Ugandans live in North America. This growing diaspora is primarily a symptom of the economic disease and malaise that has infected our motherland. Young people grow up in Uganda believing that the path towards a good life is to get out of Uganda and seek opportunities elsewhere, that the best ladder to climb towards prosperity involves applying for a visa and searching for greener pastures in Europe, and searching for greener pastures in North America, and seeking opportunities in the Middle East and other countries of the diaspora. This predicament is reflected in the state of our national economy. By the numbers, if you look at real unemployment in Uganda, especially among youth, it's over 30%. Population growth is one of the highest in the world at 3%. Over 80% of Uganda's population is under the age of 40. 20% of our people live below the poverty margin. And the GDP cannot grow fast enough to dig us out of poverty at 6%. These numbers tell part of the story, why Ugandans seek opportunity elsewhere. The stories you hear today from Ugandan immigrants are stories of lack of opportunity. They are stories of poverty. They are stories of a desire for a better education, a desire for better health care, a desire to earn a living wage, a desire to put food on the table for their families and live a meaningful life. These are stories affecting the pocketbook issues of our community. When you look back at our history, Uganda attained political independence on October 9th, 1962. But we have struggled as a community to free ourselves from the shackles of economic dependence. We live in an environment of economic anxiety and watch every day as our brothers and sisters risk it all to seek greener pastures. Some drown at sea while on this journey. Others are abused. Others are extorted, tortured, and even killed while working under poor conditions. Uganda's top export has arguably become human labor. In fact, if you look at the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development in Uganda, they have made it official government policy to license hundreds of companies that recruit and ship Ugandans to work in the United Arab Emirates, to work in Saudi Arabia, to work in Jordan, Bahrain, Iraq, Qatar, and so forth. Uganda is now officially a production line for skilled and unskilled workers. That's the reality many Ugandan immigrants face today. And as a diaspora, we have a responsibility to be the agents of change. But confronting this economic problem requires an economic solution. My team is offering an economic solution by mobilizing the diaspora, by building our financial capacity and assuming control of our destiny, and assuming control of our fate as immigrants. We are surrounded by communities that face the same challenges we face today, but have been able to reverse their fortunes. Which takes me to the second question. Among the successful immigrant communities today, where do we rank as Ugandans? Where do we rank? We often hear about the 2 billion a year in remittances going back to our country. But what we don't often hear is the quality of life of our diaspora immigrant community and how we compare to others. If you look at North America, for instance, we have immigrant communities that have been able to mobilize their people and build wealth, which has remarkably raised their quality of life in the diaspora and improved the well-being of their people. When you look at the Asian community, for instance, the Lebanese community, the Japanese community, the Indian Americans, and other groups, they have a median household income of over $70,000 US and $100,000 per year for the Indian Americans. These communities have a higher rate of home ownership. They have the lowest unemployment rates at under 2%. They have the highest rate of academic achievement, which opens up career opportunities for their children and their communities. If you look among the African nations, 30% of Nigerian Americans over the age of 25 hold a graduate degree, compared to 11% of the overall US population. Nigerian Americans also have an average household income of over $70,000 US. That level of success doesn't happen by chance. These communities are more business oriented. They have high rates of business ownership. They are mostly employers and not job seekers. They have very organized communities and associations which focus on entrepreneurship, which focus on investment. And one important factor is that they have also managed to control some of the means of production, such as capital. Without an affordable source of capital to get loans and finance your business, you can't be in the game. The vision we are putting forward today, fellow Ugandans, is to get us back in the game. And that brings me to my third point. Our Ugandan Diaspora Community Associations have been operating as non-profits for over 30 years. That's why we need to change our approach as a community. UNAA is just a small part of it, but can be a catalyst, and so are the rest of our diaspora associations. We need economic solutions to close the wealth gap with other communities. And by transforming UNAA into an investment vehicle, our community members can buy shares and own a stake in community development and investment projects. That's the beginning of an empowered Ugandan diaspora. We plant the trees and our children will sit under its shade. UNAA as an investment vehicle can be a catalyst for higher levels of home ownership in the Ugandan community. This is the main avenue Americans use to store wealth and build equity. But at the moment, we are not in the picture as a Ugandan community. UNAA as an investment vehicle can build wealth for our members to afford a college education. A college degree is necessary to be competitive in the labor market. But at the moment, we are not in the picture. UNAA as an investment vehicle can build wealth for our members to become more financially secure, to have life insurance, to have health insurance, to have savings and retirement funds. But at the moment, we are not in the picture. UNAA as an investment vehicle can build wealth for our community, to increase our leverage while negotiating and advocating for policies that affect our community in the diaspora and at home. Policies such as voting rights, which we're advocating for. Policies such as more favorable tax policies in the diaspora. But at the moment, we are even not in the picture. A financially strong UNAA will have a strong and meaningful presence in our communities and will add value to the UNAA membership, which brings me to my last point. Under UNAA as an investment subsidiary, our members will have benefits that include access to affordable loans to finance their business ideas, and an emergency fund to support community members during financial hardships. And secondly, we plan to launch support structures in each of our populated communities. A UNAA house will be a one-stop center where members can open small businesses, where members can participate in career and job workshops, where members can have access to legal and immigration counsel, where members can take advantage of our diaspora health network of providers. And even parents can utilize our affordable community daycare centers where children can learn their native languages. And to further secure financial security of our members, we shall be offering a life insurance policy with every UNAA membership. These tangible benefits will make it valuable and a necessity to join the UNAA family. And with that in mind, history tells us that the difference between organizations that are successful and those that fail to live to their potential is not from a lack of resources, and it's not from financial strength, but rather the moral compass and mentality of the leaders. UNAA under my leadership shall be an ethical organization with a foundation of integrity and accountability as a catalyst for greatness. It's time for the diaspora to lead by example. If we despise corruption, we can't be corrupt. If we demand rule of law, we have to be law-abiding. And if we speak out against abuse of power, we should be champions of good governance. My leadership team will be signing a zero-tolerance corruption pledge, because when it comes to business and investment, there's no room for corruption. Our mission as a community and as a team is to fundamentally change the face of our organization and the Ugandan diaspora as a whole. We are bigger than one weekend a year party. The stakes are high in this election as we pave a new path for the future of UNAA. I humbly appeal to you, fellow Ugandans, to renew your membership, to register as new members by August 1st in order to vote and make your voice heard this September. This election is not simply about electing new leadership. This election is about who we are as a diaspora. This election is the most important this organization has faced yet. Our future prosperity, our place in the diaspora economy, our standard of living as immigrants, and the opportunities we want for our children all depend on choosing the right leadership. My team is the right leadership for our community. It's about our values in the diaspora. It's about our potential in the diaspora. I challenge you, fellow Ugandans, to choose the right path for UNAA. A path of financial independence, like we are in the diaspora. A path of inclusive UNAA, like we are in the diaspora. A UNAA that opens doors of opportunity, like we have enjoyed in the diaspora. Your support and vote of confidence in our team will be an honor and a ticket to a better future for our association and diaspora community. Thank you for listening to me, and God bless you all.